Welcome back to On the Same Page. We are on Daf Tes Amud Beis, 9b of Maseches Taanis, 3 lines from the top of the page. The Gemara says, Rav Shimi bar Ashi have a shliach kamei de Rav Papa. Rav Shimi bar Ashi used to learn from Rav Papa. He was in his class. Have a makshi tuva. He would ask him, give him a lot of questions, challenge him a lot, and apparently this troubled the teacher of Papa. Yom Echad, one day, Chazia de nafal al ape. Rav Shimi witnessed that Rav Papa, when he fell on his face, possibly when he was davening tachnun, nefilas apayim, you fall on your arm, on your face. So Shamei de Amar, and he heard Rav Papa saying, Rachmana litzlan mikisufa de Shimi. God, save me from the embarrassment caused by Shimi. So now Rav Shimi understood that he was embarrassing his Rebbe, Rav Papa, by challenging him so much. Kabel alei shtikusa v'sulo actually. So he accepted upon himself to remain silent, and he no longer challenged him. Okay, that was just a little story that related to the previous story where we also had, at the end of last week's Amud, where these 3 students also actually went to Rav Papa, and also they would make strange faces, they would give each other looks when they disagreed with something. So that was relating to that. Now the Gemara returns to something we discussed last week, which was a statement that the rain falls even for individuals. Rabbi Yochanan said this, that matar bishvil yachid, that it can rain in a specific place even for one person. Says the Gemara, V'af Reish Lakish savar matar bishvil yachid. Reish Lakish also holds that it can rain for just an individual. De'amar Reish Lakish, because Reish Lakish said, Minayim lamatar bishvil yachid. From where do I know that it would rain even for one person? Dichsiv, because the verse says in Zechariah, it says, Shalu me Hashem matar be'eis malkosh. Ask God for rain the time of the malkosh, the late rains. Hashem osech hazizim. Hashem makes rain clouds, thunder clouds. U matar geshem yiteng lahem. And he will give them rain. Le'ish, to a man, esev basadeh, grass in the field. So Yachol Lakol, you might think that he will only grant rain for everyone. Talmud Lomer La'ish, that's why it says for a man, for an individual person, Hashem will grant rain. There we see that Hashem grants rain even for an individual. V'tanya, and it was taught further, Ish Yachol Lachol Sadosav. Now, maybe it will rain for an individual, but maybe only if all of his fields need, then Hashem will make it rain for this person. You know, it's got to be worth it. There's got to be enough rain needed to be worth the trip and worth the effort. Talmud Lomar Sada. No, the pasuk says Sada, for one field even, Hashem will make it rain. Right? It says Esa basada, grass in the field, even one field. Isada. So if it says a field, Yachol Lakol Asada, I might think only if you have a whole field that needs rain, Hashem will make that rain for that. Talmud Lomar Esav. So that's why the pasuk says, Esev asada, the grass, the field, even one piece of grass, even one part of the field needs rain, Hashem will sometimes make it rain just for that individual specific need. Kihad Rav Daniel bar Katina, like we find about Rav Daniel, the son of Katina, Habalei Ahi Ginsa, he had a garden, he had an orchard. Kol Yoma Hava Azil V'Sayerla. Each day he would go and he would inspect it. Amar, and he would say, Ha-mishra bayamaya, v'ha-mishra lo bayamaya. This cluster, this area needs rain, and this one doesn't need rain. V'asamitra v'kamashki kohechad mibayule maya. And rain would come and water wherever it needed rain, specifically in that spot, Hashem will make it rain. Just like Reish Lakish said, even for one area of grass, Hashem will make it rain just for that. Now in that verse it said that Hashem is oseh chazizim, makes chazizim. My Hashem oseh chazizim. What is some kind of cloud? Hashem makes these clouds. Why in plural? What does it mean Hashem makes these clouds? Rabbi Yossi Bar Chanina Melamed teaches me Shekol Tzadik V'Tzadik HaKadosh Baruch Hu Oseh Lo Chazes B'fnei Atzmo. Teaches us that for each tzaddik, every righteous person, Hashem will make a thundercloud just for him. Right? I guess meaning, if it's going to rain, sometimes you have one big cloud, that's enough to make it rain. So why does it say that Hashem brings clouds, multiple clouds? So that's because each righteous individual can earn himself his own rainstorm, if needed. His own rain cloud. Now, what are these clouds that we're talking about? Mai chazizim. What are these clouds? Amar Rav Yehuda Parchos. It's the flying ones. Couldn't really explain to you what exactly that means, but that's how it describes it, the flying clouds. Amar Rav Yochanan said, Simin lamatar Parchos. If you want to know that it's going to rain, a sign that it's about to rain is Parchos, these flying clouds. My Parchos, what are they? So a little bit of a further definition. Amar Papa Eva Klisha Tusi Eva Samichta. If you see a lighter cloud underneath a thick cloud, that's Parchos. Those are the flying clouds we're talking about. A smaller cloud, a lighter cloud under a thick cloud, and then you know it's going to rain. Amar Rav Yehuda said, Nahila mikame mitra asi mitra. If it drizzles before the rain, so then you know the rain is coming. But basar mitra, pasik mitra. But when it's already been raining and now it's drizzling, so you know that the rain is coming to an end. Seems like a pretty obvious statement, but I'm not sure what he's trying to bring out with this. That's what he says. Now, sort of to further the question here, he gives you a sign to remember this. Mikamei mitra, asi mitra. Right? When it's before the rain, when the drizzling is before the rain, then rain is coming. V'simanech mahota. The way to remember that is, think of a sieve. Because a sieve, you put the flour in, let's say, your ground up grain, and first, right away, without even shaking it, the smallest pieces fall through. Then you shake it, you maneuver it, and pieces that were a little bit larger will now be able to fall through because they're repositioned to fall through the cracks. So first, the small pieces, like the drizzling, and then the bigger, the thicker pieces, that's the real heavy rains. So just like a sieve, that's how the rain works. First the light rain, followed by the heavy rain. And the basar mitra, but when it drizzles after the rain, pasik mitra, that means the rain is ending. V'simanech, and if you need to remember that rule, charya de'izi. Here's a good one to remember it. The excrements of a goat, which apparently they first come out thick and then thin. And that's how you can remember that the rain also first comes thick and then comes thin. Again, I think the question needs to be addressed here, which is, what is this coming to teach me? We all know that first it rains light and then it starts to rain heavier, or often. And if it's been raining heavy and turns to light, that probably means the rain is leaving. And why do I need these reminders of this rule? Okay, something to look into further. Ula ikol of Babel. Gemara says, we're at the two dots, that Ula traveled to Babel from Eretz Yisrael, from Israel. He went to Babylonia. Chaza parchos, and he saw these parchos, these flying clouds, which we said is the thin cloud under the thick cloud. Amar lahu, so he said to them, Panumani dahashta asi mitra. He said, bring in your clothes from the clotheslines because it's about to rain. Because I know that parchos, these kinds of clouds, means rain is coming. L'sof lo asi mitra, but in the end it didn't rain. So Amar, he said, oh, that's how it works in Babylonia? He said, Ki hechi de meshakri bavlai hachi meshakri mitrayu. Just like the Babylonians are liars, so too their rain lies to them. Meaning, in Eretz Yisrael, in Israel, if you see these clouds, you know it's going to rain. It doesn't lie. It always does. But apparently in Bavel it works differently. It must be because in Babylonia there are liars. So too, the rain lies, the clouds lie. Ula ikla leBavel, another story of Ula traveling to Bavel. He came to Bavel. Chazi male tina de tamri bezuza. He saw that in Bavel you could get a whole basket of dates for just one zuz, a bargain. So Amar, he said, male tina de dovsha bezuza ubavloilo aski baraisa. You could get a basket full of date honey, honey producing dates for just a zuz, and these Babylonians don't learn Torah all the time, meaning food is so cheap here, they don't need to work, they should be learning the whole time. So he said, come on, and they could get food for so cheap, and they're not learning all the time. So what happened? So Bilel Yatzaruhu. That night, after eating all these dates, because they were so cheap, he started to have some stomach issues, right? They pained him, he had diarrhea. So Amar, he said, he changed his mind, right? He said, Male Tzina de Sakina Bezuza. You could buy a basket full of knives, right? Of danger, I think sakina here means knives. You could buy a basket full of knives for just one zuz. Ubavlai aski baraisa, yet the Babylonians still take some time to learn Torah. There's this temptation that you could get food for so cheap, but it's bad for you. And yet they somehow they resist and they don't eat it and therefore they don't get sick, and therefore they have time to learn Torah, right? Maybe not as much as he originally, but now, right? Originally he said you don't learn enough. Now he's saying at least you learn some, because you have this temptation there. You could be eating this stuff all the time. You could spend the whole day in pain, and people resist that. So he was now impressed that they resist that, and they still have time to learn Torah. It says the Gemara Tanya. Gemara brings a brisa. Rabbi Eliezer said, Kol ha'olam kulo mimei okainus ushoseh. The whole world drinks from the waters of the ocean, meaning the rainwater that we have is comes from the oceans. The whole world drinks from that water. That's where the land gets its water from. Shenamar, where does he get this from? Because the pasuk says in Bereshis, it says, "Ve'ed yala min haaretz," a mist went up from the ground, "Ve'hishka es kol pnei ha'adama," and it watered the whole face of the earth. Amar lo Rabbi Yeshua, v'halo meimeo kainus meluchin hang. Rabbi Yeshua said, "What do you mean? The waters of the ocean, they're salty. It can't be that the world gets its water from the ocean water. That would be that salty water. So that wouldn't be good for watering the ground." So he said, "Amar lo mimatkin ba'oven." It gets sweetened in the clouds. The clouds sift out the salt. And so the water has no salt. So pretty amazing. Rabbi Eliezer, from a pasuk, attests to the idea of evaporation, that the water evaporates from the ocean, and he says that the clouds sift it, but the salt is sifted out in that process, and then it can rain. That was Rabbi Eliezer's opinion. Rabbi Yeshua has a different opinion. Rabbi Yeshua Omer, no, the world gets its water from the upper waters, the heavenly waters. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, "V'mtara shamayim tishtemaim." You'll drink water from the waters of the heavens. The water comes from on high. Elamani mekayim ve'ed yala min haaretz. So what about that verse that we just quoted, that there was a mist that came up from the ground? So he says, "Melamed sha'ananim miskabrim ve'olim l'rakia." That teaches that the clouds come up from the ground. That mist is referring to the clouds. They come up from the ground, and they go up to the sky, uposten pia and kinod, and they open their mouths like a thermos, like a bottle, umekablen mei matar, and they receive water from the heavens. Shenemar, as it says, the verse says, in Eov it says, Yizku matar la'edo. He pours out water to his clouds. Pours out water from the heavenly waters, from the upper waters to the clouds. Umenukavo saying kikavara, and these clouds have holes in them like a sieve, like a sifter. Upos umechashus maim al gabi karka, and then they poured out that water through those holes to the ground. Shenamar, as the pasuk says in Shmuel Beis, chashras mayim ave shechakim. They pour water, the clouds of the heavens. Ve'eng ben tipo tipo al kimali nima, and between each drop there's like a hair's breadth between each drop of water. So Rabbi Eliezer is of the opinion that the water in the clouds comes from the oceans, evaporation, and Rabbi Yeshua is of the opinion that the water comes from the heavens, or the heavenly water, the upper waters. Now the Gemara says, Lilamedcha. Now the following verse, which we're going to quote, teaches us that a day that it rains is as great as the day that the world was created. This the Gemara actually said on an earlier daf. Same source, it says, Shenemar, because the pasuk says, Ose gedolos adein cheker. It says Hashem does great things adein cheker. There's no investigating them, there's no understanding them. Uksiv, hanosing matra pnei haaretz. He gives water on the ground. So this great thing that you can't investigate, you can't understand, is talking about how Hashem provides rain. Uksiv la'alan, and further from that it says, Halo yadata, or elsewhere I should say, in Yeshaya, the first pasuk was from Eov, and now we're quoting from Yeshaya. In Yeshaya it says, Halo yadata, surely you know, im lo shamata, have you not heard, Elokei olam Hashem, Hashem is the God of the world, and it says there, Borei kitzos haaretz. The Gemara here doesn't quote it, but this is really the next part of the verse. He created the edges of the world, and the end of the pasuk says this. It does quote in cheker l'tmuna, so there's no investigating his understanding. We can never understand it, but again, it says ein cheker. It's not investigatable. So about the creation of the world, it says ein cheker. You can't understand it. And about Hashem doing gedolos, doing great things like bringing rain, it says it's ein cheker. You can't investigate it. And so, just as the Gemara, you see this comparison. The bringing of rain is compared to the creation of the world. The Gemara continues after the parentheses, 7 lines from the bottom. It says, "Kiman azla hadachsiv mashke harim el Yosef." Who does it go like the verse that says in Tehillim? It says, "Mashke harim el Yosef." He waters the mountains me'al Yosef, from his high places. Now, what are these high places? The Amar Rabbi Yochanan me'al Yosef shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, from the aliyos, from the high places of God. And it sounds like it means from the Mayim Elyonim, that he waters the mountains from the Mayim Elyonim, those upper waters. So Kiman Rabbi Yeshua, that seems to be going like the opinion of Rabbi Yeshua, who says that the rainwater comes from the aliyos, the high water, the waters on high. The Rabbi Eliezer. So what does Rabbi Eliezer say to that? Who says that the rainwater comes from the oceans? Kivan desalki lahasam mashkem el Yosef karilu. He says no. It means the water originates in the ocean, but once it gets to the heavens, so now you can say he waters from El Yosef, from the high places, so no problem. He says, because if you won't agree to such a reading, how are you going to read the following pasuk, the following verse? It says that Hashem will give rain, and then it says avak va'afar min hashamayim, dust and earth from the heavens. How are you going to have that? nobody will say that dust and earth originate in the heavens. So rather what it means is Elokim demadli lahasam min hashamayim karile. So since they are brought up there, I guess through wind or whatever, they get blown up in the air. So then you call it that it's raining down, it's raining ash, it's raining dirt, but it's not originating there. It says it's coming from the heavens, but obviously it's originating on earth. So too, Hachanami will say about the rain as well. Once it goes up from the oceans to the heavens, so then you can say that he brings water from the aliyos, from the upper places. Gemara asks, Kiman Azla Hada Amar Rabbi Chanina. Who would it go like the following statement of Rabbi Chanina, who said that the verse which says Kones Kaned Me Hayam, that he gathers in like a pile the waters of the sea. And then it says, No Sein Beotzaros to Homos. He puts in his storehouse to Homos, in the depths. So what is this verse saying? It says, Migaram, so Rabbi Chanina said, Migaram Leotzaros Sheismalu Bar. What it means is, what does it mean, no Sein Beotzaros? He places in his storehouses. What causes placing in storehouses? What causes that the storehouses can be filled with grain? Tahomos, it's the depths, meaning the water from the depths, the ocean water, which evaporates and goes to heavens. That's where the rain comes from. That's what causes the otzaros to be, the storehouses to be filled with grain. So that would be Rabbi Eliezer. That would be in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer, who said that the water comes from the Tahomos, from the depths, from the ocean. That's where the rain comes from. Rabbi Yeshua, what will Rabbi Yeshua respond to that, who holds that it comes from the high, the waters on high? Hahu bibriyaso shel olam. Says, no, that verse was specifically about the creation of the world. In the creation of the world, first it was all water, and then Konis Kaned Me Hayam, Hashem gathered in the waters into piles to reveal the dry land. And placed them nosing beotzaros to homos, and placed them in deep storehouses, which is probably the most simple reading of this pasuk, of this verse actually. So Rabbi Yeshua's response is, it could be that really the rainwater comes from the heavens. And this verse reads, Kones kaned me'ayam, he gathered in, when the water was covering the whole earth, he gathered it into piles, and placed it, nosing beotzaros to homos, he placed it in deep storehouses, the oceans. But at the end of the day, Rabbi Yeshua will maintain that the rainwater still originates from the heavenly waters. Thank you for listening. Have a good week.